Sonic Heroes!
Sonic Heroes?
Sonic Heroes! I don't know what made me decide to just pick this game up again. Maybe it was nostalgia, maybe I haven't played it in years and I just wanted to see for myself where it really lands for me, because it's always been one of my favorites, but because it's been so long, I just felt like I needed a refresher before I really share like my thoughts on this game and kind of like where it's placed for me in terms of my favorite Sonic games. And yep, it's still up there. It's still in my top 5, and I'm gonna tell you guys exactly why that is. Something happened when I played this game and it really took me back, and I didn't know why it hit me so hard this time around, but man, the characterization of Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles is absolute perfection.
Sounds like an invitation to party.
What are we gonna do, Sonic?
No worries, we've got this one. Ha! Think I'd miss this? Time to crack that Eggman wide open! Yeah, let's party!
I mean, yes, all the other characters as well are done to perfection too, but really just focusing on the core characters here and the core experience of the game. I really miss the dialogue in the middle of levels. The characters commenting on things that they're seeing, things that they're experiencing, how they're feeling. Maybe it was kind of sensory overload back in 2003. I don't really know what the headspace was back then. Like, what I do remember, because I grew up with this game, is that everyone just wanted these characters to shut up. But for me, I couldn't disagree more. The way they handled Knuckles being the more mature, kind of laid back, but then also very reactive. He's always like, this is crazy, we can't do this, Sonic, don't do it, Sonic.
Not bad.
This must be the Gun Cannon's internal mechanism inside the core.
Hey, let's try firing that thing. Hey, come on now, don't do it, Sonic.
It's moving!
Here we go! Hey, which way is the cannon facing? Hey!
If you think about it from his perspective, he's chilling on Angel Island, meditating, just having a very peaceful experience and just living a very peaceful life. This is unusual for him to be throwing himself into a cannon, and so that scene where he's like, oh god, don't do it, Sonic! You know, it's perfect. It's like, this is exactly what Knuckles should be. And then you have Tails, who's always very like, you know, oh, my head's spinning, and like, you know, he feels like sick and he's just like trying to keep up with Sonic. He wants Sonic to be proud of him. So he kind of like, you know, he's more like reserved. He's trying to keep those feelings to himself, but he's overwhelmed for sure. And then you have Sonic himself, who, no matter how crazy an idea he has, he somehow pulls it off. And, you know, it's the trust also that they have in each other. I've never seen any other game encapsulate that like this game does. I think maybe Frontiers comes close. I think Frontiers does a good job of showing a very like, you know, there's still a rivalry between Sonic and Knuckles, but you can tell they have a very deep admiration and respect for each other and a really good friendship. But it's been a while since we've seen that, and I just thought it was so beautifully done. These little moments where Knuckles is like, oh my god, this is crazy, we can't do this, Sonic, this is nuts. And then Sonic's just pure optimism of like, come on, this is nothing. You know, it's just this energy that we don't have anymore. And I'm like, what happened to that energy? You know, his confidence and his will and his need for this high octane action. He's almost like Tom Cruise. Like, he just has to be doing something absolutely crazy to feel normal, you know? And then you have Knuckles, who's like, I just want to go back to my island and chill and, you know, eat some grapes. And then you have Tails over there, who's like, oh my god, my head is spinning, and he's like throwing up in the background. He's just trying to keep up. It's just like, I can't say enough with enough passion how much I love the way these characters are done in this. It's perfect. And it just makes me realize that Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles is like peanut butter, jelly, and bread. They just go together so well. Maybe these days we don't get enough of the three of them together. And maybe that's kind of what I was missing too, is just like hearing them comment on the levels that they're going through and the environments, and talking about Eggman and making these little jokes and remarks and that are actually funny even to this day. Team Dark is done brilliantly as well, with Omega just being this very sarcastic, you know, matter of fact, very blunt but honest kind of approach to the character that I just really appreciate. And then Rouge just trying to bring everyone together, and Shadow just, obviously still dealing with amnesia and trying to figure out how he fits into this world. I don't know. I just never really appreciated that aspect of this game enough. I actually think we need more of this. Now, yeah, sometimes the dialogue can be a little repetitive. It is an older game. If it were me, it would be cool if we could have so many varied lines of dialogue that each time you play the game, it's slightly different, but maybe that's asking too much, but I just think that it made the game feel alive. You have to understand, this game was made, I believe, in a very short amount of time. Takashi Iizuka was crunching to get this game done and was working really hard on it and was practically, from what I understand, sleeping at the office overnight to get this game out. And it really shows. The passion really comes through. This just feels like peak Sonic. And I think that's also why I love Unleashed. And I just want to comment on Unleashed as well, because we did get Unleashed recompiled. It is my favorite Sonic game of all time. And I think it's worth mentioning that that's also a good example of a game that gets characterization really, really well. And having played these games both recently back to back, it just made me really miss this era of Sonic where it just felt really heartfelt and sincere, and the characters really felt like they were alive and they were reacting to each other and they cared about each other genuinely. If you look at something like Forces, the characters don't really react much. I mean, they literally think Sonic might actually be dead, and it's just business as usual. It's very strange, because if you just play Sonic Heroes, you see at every turn how concerned Knuckles is whenever they go over like a steep cliff or like, an area where there's a huge drop off. And Knuckles was like, "Oh, it's pretty steep here, be careful." It's perfect. It's like they're so genuinely concerned for each other's safety, and they really it just seems so simple, right? Like, why do I even have to make this video just describing that these characters should feel more alive while I'm playing the game? Not just in the cutscenes, not just in promotional material, no, in the actual game. Where have these characters been? When we're playing as Sonic, yeah, he'll make a comment, he'll make a reference in Frontiers of like, "Oh yeah, I wonder what Jet thinks of this," or whatever the heck. But it's so empty and vapid because we don't really know what these characters even mean to each other anymore. It's been so long, we need a refresher. We need to see these characters interact in a way that really highlights that. And this is where I think Crossworlds is going to fill that void and is going to start a new era, bringing back this old feeling that Sonic Heroes, Sonic Riders, all these older games gave us, where these characters really felt so accurate to who they are and who they're supposed to be to each other, and really nailing down these relationships that they have with each other in a way that will take the franchise to the next level. And now I'm really of the belief that it has nothing to do with voice actors. They show up, they do their job, they are directed by the voice directors. I really think the voice directors are to blame. Not that we should attack anyone or we should, not what I'm saying here at all, but I am saying that it's usually more on the voice directors. They literally forced Roger to sound a certain way in Frontiers when he kind of wanted to do his more usual Sonic voice and they wanted to go lower. Again, I think that's fine, but the pitch of his voice doesn't even matter. What matters is the characterization. What matters is the writing. What matters is the direction. And I think this is what's been lacking just a little bit. Yes, it's getting better. Yes, these characters feel more like they should now with games like Frontiers and definitely, from what it seems like, Crossworlds. But when are we gonna feel how Sonic Heroes made us feel again? Hasn't it been long enough? Just the simple joy that Sonic has of destroying Eggman's ships. When Egg Fleet starts and he's like,
"All right, Eggman, let's get this party started."
Underneath, he's bubbling with excitement, like it's about to burst out of him, like he can't even contain it. He cannot wait to see the look on Eggman's face when he destroys his entire Egg Fleet, his entire armada of ships. And again, it's what Unleashed gets so right as well. Sonic really does get so much pleasure in ruining Eggman's plan. Again, it just establishes these things very simply, but yet very effectively. I think Sonic Heroes is the reason that people know who these characters are and what their personality is to this day. it did a lot of work establishing who these characters are. Even for Chaotix, characters that were forgotten, you know, they somehow brought these characters back and made them iconic and made you want to learn more about their world and their stories and what's going on in their world. I was playing this game just grinning ear to ear, stage to stage. I don't know what it was. Maybe back then we just wanted edgier content. You know, maybe Shadow the Hedgehog is what we thought we wanted, but really all along we wanted Sonic Heroes. I don't know what it is, you know? I don't know what it is, but I'm glad we're coming back to that more heartfelt, sincere storytelling, especially with Shadow Generations. I mean, what a great example that game is of taking what worked about something and running with it and really just putting together such a beautiful story that is not ashamed of what it is. It's not trying to hide anything. It's not trying to be something it's not. It's not trying to be overly dark. It's just what it is. It's a story about Shadow and the loss that he's felt over all these years, you know, from Maria and Gerald, and the shock of getting to see them again and then having to deal with Black Doom again, but done in a way that doesn't feel forced. It doesn't feel wrong. The characters finally, after all these years, they feel exactly how they're supposed to feel. For a lot of characters, we haven't even seen them. And so like seeing them again has just like been crazy, you know? So I don't really know like what I even wanted to say with this video. I think I just had a really special experience playing Sonic Heroes, and if you haven't played it, I do think it's worth checking out. I would be, you know, a little wary of like, you know, I don't know, if you want to complete that game 100%, that's your own choice to make. I don't recommend that, but I think just playing through Sonic's story, I think is perfect. You know, if you just want to get a taste of what the game is and get to experience these characters at their peak characterization, in my opinion, try Sonic Heroes. If you can. It's hard to come by these days. Sega, please port this game to PC or something, or remaster it or remake it. I know there's been rumors of a Heroes remake. It's been a while since we've heard anything about that, which makes me believe it probably was just some random rumor from some random fan who was just trying to stir up, you know, some sort of... I don't think it's actually real or based in any reality, but it is interesting, you know, because if there is any game that does deserve a remake, it is Sonic Heroes. And if they are gonna do a Sonic Heroes remake, well, they better get the dialogue right, you know, and if there's anything I'd want them to take away from that experience, or if there's anything to be taken away from this video, is that we need more Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles. Damn it. I miss these guys. Bring them back. Thanks for watching. I missed you guys. I've been dealing with a lot of health issues. I don't want to get too much into it, but it's been a little bit of a rough year for me. I really appreciate you guys just being here and being so patient with waiting for more content and for more episodes of my show, which if you don't know, Sonic Doomsday Reimagined Episode 0 is out now. It's my newest and latest episode. Very proud of it. Definitely my best work so far. I would really appreciate if you check it out. And for those of you waiting for the conclusion of Sonic Cybernetics, that is also on the way, and I am extremely excited to work on that because obviously my Cybernetics story takes a lot of inspiration from Sonic Heroes. Now having played the game again and having this like refresher, it is giving me so much inspiration and ideas for dialogue and for action scenes, and so I'm so excited to get into that and start production. I mean, I've already started pre-production, but to start like full production, start animation and voice acting and all that. So thank you all so much for your patience and for your support through a little bit of a difficult time in my life. It really, really does mean a lot. I get really stressed and anxious, you know, when I can't upload as much as I want, and I'm very hard on myself. So I really appreciate the patience and you guys just sharing, you know, very kind words. And so thank you. Let's continue to grow this channel. I have a lot more content planned. This is more of just a discussion video. I have some more scripted, higher quality content that I have planned coming out for later this year. But yeah, it's good to just get back to regular uploads. I'm gonna be doing discussions, or at least trying to do a discussion video like couple times a month, more or less. I don't want to promise anything because I do have a lot going on right now, but yes, that is the plan. Do expect more discussion videos more frequently, but that's it. I'll see you guys in the next video, creators. Peace out.